I'm back to tell you about job number 2. So now I've gotten fired and I know what kind of place I want to work at. So when I walked into this hair salon over in the Fair Lakes area, Fairfax, Virginia, I knew that was the kind of salon that I just had to work at. Cool music, cool girls, cool magazines. I got hired. So yay! So I walked in, I got hired, and I said, I'm taking a cosmetology class at my high school. I want to be a hairstylist. Teach me what you know. I am a sponge. I am willing to learn. And I did. I learned so much. They taught me how to mix colors. They taught me how to dye people's hair. If you wanted your hair all one color, I dyed your hair. Yes, I did. If you wanted the foils or the cap or something like that or highlights, I did it sometimes, but I really wasn't supposed to, so don't tell, okay? I also helped with perms. Perms were all the rage in the 90s. And the hairstylist would roll up your hair, whether it be a regular perm or a spiral perm. And after that, I did the rest. I put all the chemicals on. I put everything on. I had all these timers. I felt as important as a person with a security clearance because I'm basically in charge of your hair. And so I had timers on perms, timers on your hair color, timers on your deep conditioner, which if they ever tell you you need a deep conditioner, you probably don't. That just means the hairstylist is running behind, so they're like, hey, put a deep conditioner on that person. But who doesn't mind a deep conditioner or an extra shampoo? Nobody. So it's cool. So I did all that, and then besides all that, I did possibly the most important job at a hair salon, sweeping up all that hair. So, and that accumulates really fast. The owner, Dan, dude was a creeper, but we'll get to that in a second. That guy could cut a guy's hair in like 8 minutes. And he was so proud of that fact. And so every 8 minutes, there's more hair on the floor. And every 8 minutes, Dan would also tell you the same story. Story number 1. He had a barkless dog he tried to get me to train. Like I don't have enough to do with all these like timers and all these perms and colors. Like I need to be walking your barkless dog. No, dude, not even. I didn't say that though because I was only a teenager, but all the people in their 20s told Dan, no, Dan, we need her help. She cannot walk your barkless dog. Story number 2, Dan had a band that played at some club in Fairfax by GMU. Dan was old as the hills. Dude was like 30 and balding. And do you think that me, a teenager, was going to go see this 30-year-old dude? Like he might have been even 32. Do you think I was going to go see him and his band play with my cool teenage friends? No. We never went. Dan always begged us. He'd always be like, we're playing at this. And I'm sweeping up hair. And he's like, Kelly, you should come and see us play. No, Dan, you're old and irrelevant. We are not going to see you play because we are young and cool. And he's like, but out loud, I'd be like, oh, we can't get in, Dan. We're not 18. I'll get you in. Not like, Dan, no. Story number 3. Dan had a friend that was an extra in the movie Glory. This was like Dan's claim to fame. Not that Dan was an extra in the movie Glory. Dan's friend was an extra in the movie Glory. That is so freaking cool. I mean, do you have a friend that was an extra in any movie? I might, but not to my knowledge. I mean, but if I did, I would tell every single person I knew. I mean, it's obviously the coolest thing that can basically happen to you to have a friend that's an extra in a movie, and at hour point or minute point or whatever, he doesn't really speak, but you can see him. How cool is that? I had to hear those stories all the time. Anytime Dan's kid did anything cool, anytime Dan bought something, I had to hear about it all day long. Also, let's get back to how he was a creeper. I was a minor, so he didn't hit on me. So he wasn't that big of, okay, he was that big of a creeper. He just obviously didn't hit on minors. He had these poster-sized pictures of this woman hanging up that worked there. And she looked gorgeous in those. And I thought, wow, I wish I had pictures of me hanging up. And now I'm like, no, I don't. Because he made her, this was his station, this was her station. And he would talk all day, besides those other stories. His main story, his main encompassing story, was how hot she was. Because that's totally respectful to his wife, totally respectful for her, and an amazing work environment for any woman to just stand there and to be objectified all day. So he'd be like, look at those pictures I have of her hanging up so I can look at her all day. And doesn't she have a tight body? And doesn't she look so beautiful? And oh, she's so hot. And then her boyfriend was in the army and he would come back and he'd be like, wow, you guys are going to have fun tonight, right? Isn't he lucky to be able to be with her tonight? Oh man, isn't he lucky to get to go home with her? And then Dan's clients were so uncomfortable by that. And they'd be like, yeah, okay. And then the woman just stood there like, oh yeah, Dan. You know why? Because women in the 90s, we like to keep our jobs. Like, that kind of stuff is so inappropriate to have to stand there and hear that kind of stuff all day. Like, look at her. Look at that outfit she's wearing. I don't even know why she stayed. Maybe she was just staying to get clients. Like, maybe, I don't know. But that kind of stuff, not a woman or a man should have to deal with that, ever, at any workplace. And so then there was Cheryl and Tamra. Cheryl was super cool, super nice to me. I loved her. And then there was Tamara, and Tamara came, and I don't know what her deal was, but she was like on this vendetta. And she stole Cheryl's boyfriend in a wheelchair from her, and I stayed I tried to stay completely out of that. I tried. I would just be like, I do not know. I mean, they would talk about stuff way over my naive teenage head, like way over things I did not even know about. Brazilian wax, like, what? You know, I didn't really know what that stuff was. And they would like fight all the time about this man in the wheelchair. Like, he likes me. No, he likes me better. He was with me. No, he was with me. And I would just be like, I'm going to go sweep up some hair now. Walk the sparkless dog. Something like that. And then there was me. My friends would come in and they were way above their time, way ahead of their time. They would ask for things like their hair to be dyed gray, or to get a blue highlight, or their black hair to be dyed blonde, or their blonde hair to be dyed black. And the hairstylists there would always be like, no, we can't do that. That would ruin your hair. No. And we know now that that can be done. They just didn't want to do it. And also it was the 90s, and like, if you didn't want a spiral perm, I guess you weren't speaking their language. I had this one boyfriend that would come, and he would just walk straight through the salon and then take a nap on the cement out back. And I thought that was totally normal. They'd be like, your boyfriend's here just taking a nap out back. Like, oh yeah, he'll just take a nap till I get off. Like, nah, he needed to get a life, not be taking a nap outside my job. Like, not even, not okay. And so one day Cheryl came to me and she was crying. And she said that a client had complained about me. And I was like, what? And I was so upset. And she said that I was fired. I don't know why I was really fired. I mean, it could have been because I was a teenager and I was late often. Or I tried to take off early, or I called out and did all those things that immature people do at jobs, even if they're my age. It could be because of all my strange friends. I mean, I can blame them, right? It could be because I got in people's business a lot, and if I thought they were being dumb, I told them. And if I didn't want to do something, for the most part, I told them. And I was a bit of a smart aleck. And it could be because a guy that I was dating, that I'll talk about later, smoked a lot of marijuana. And he wanted me to find him some, and I did not smoke marijuana. And he asked me to ask people at the hair salon. And not many adults sell marijuana to teenagers for good reasons. And he asked me to ask some clients if they knew. And I did. I asked some clients that I thought were cool. And maybe one of those clients told on me. Maybe they said that. And I feel so dumb. I have never said that out loud until now. I felt so dumb that I let some guy ask me to do something that I didn't even do, and asked me to do that, and that I did it. And I loved working there. And ultimately I lost my job, and I don't really know the reason why. Was it because of her? Did she tell on me, which ultimately is my fault? Why did I feel so bad about myself that I would put myself in compromising positions? And so we'll hear more about other jobs in the future, and how I handled things, and the path that I went on, and what I decided to do about being a hairstylist. Until then.